June 6, 1944, and Major Werner Pluskat stands alone in his concrete bunker high above Omaha Beach. I am your brother. Please subscribe for support me. He commands a 352nd Infantry Division's coastal artillery, and for months he has stared at this same empty horizon. Tonight, something feels different. His orders are clear. If the Allies come, his guns must stop them on the beach. If they break through here, the road to Paris lies open. At 0100 hours, the phone rings. It's his regimental commander. He scans the darkness again. Nothing but waves and fog. He hangs up and returns to the observation scope. His crew's man the 155mm guns in their reinforced positions. Ammunition is stacked and ready. Naval mines stretch across the beach below. Steel obstacles bristle from the sand. Everything is prepared, but the waiting gnaws at him. Then at 2 a.m., he hears it. A low mechanical growl rolls across the water. Aircraft engines. Hundreds of them. The sound grows into a deafening roar. Pluskat rushes to the observation slit. The sky to the north erupts with streaks of light. Parachutes bloom like white flowers against the darkness. Thousands of them. Alarm! His artillery crews scramble to their guns. The phone rings again. His gunners train their pieces inland, but the order is absolute. The beach. Always the beach. Yet the paratroopers are landing behind them, cutting roads and seizing bridges. The invasion is already moving past his guns. Dawn begins to break. A pale gray light spreads across the water. Pluskat returns to the scope, scanning the horizon. His heart stops. Ships. Not dozens. Not hundreds. Thousands. The entire horizon, from left to right, as far as he can see, is covered in ships. Battleships, cruisers, destroyers, transports. An armada beyond comprehension. They sit in neat rows, dark silhouettes against the brightening sky, stretching to infinity. His hands shake as he reaches for the phone. Static crackles. His commander's voice is tight. Before the response comes, the world explodes. The first salvos from the Allied naval guns tear across the sky like freight trains. The sound arrives a split second before the shells. They slam into the bluffs around him with earth-shattering force. Concrete dust fills his bunker. The walls shudder. Fire! Fire! His guns roar to life. The 155mm pieces bark, sending shells arcing toward the distant fleet. But Allied fire is overwhelming. For every shot he sends, 50 come back. German positions erupt in fountains of dirt, steel, and shattered concrete. At 6:30 a.m., landing craft appear. Hundreds of them, churning forward in waves. They're heading straight for Omaha Beach, straight for his sector. Concentrate fire. His battery commanders acknowledge. The German guns shift, tracking the approaching boats. At 2,000 meters, they open fire. Shells splash around the landing craft. One takes a direct hit and disintegrates in a ball of orange flame. But there are too many. For every craft destroyed, 10 more push forward. The landing craft hit the obstacles. Some explode on mines. Others grind to a halt on steel hedgehogs. The ramps drop. American soldiers pour into chest-deep water. The MG-42 positions dug into bluffs open fire. The distinctive ripping sound of German machine guns echoes across the beach. Tracer rounds rake the waterline, forcing the first wave to scatter and dive for cover. The surf churns with chaos, yet they keep coming. More landing craft grind onto sand. Tanks push forward. Some bog down immediately. Others crawl toward the shingle. Engineers sprint forward carrying demolition charges, trying to cut lanes through the obstacles. From Pluskat's guns, heavy shells slam into the beach, blasting sand and debris skyward and shredding equipment in an instant. A naval shell finds one of his artillery pieces and silences a position with a single strike. The Americans are pinned behind the seawall and shingle. The waterline is choked with wreckage. Damaged vehicles burn along the beach. It looks hopeless, but the landing craft keep coming. Wave after wave spills fresh troops onto the open sand. At 7:30, Pluskat asks himself, how many shells remain? They've been firing for over an hour. At this rate, they'll be out within 30 minutes. He calls regiment again. The Allied guns adjust. The pattern changes. Less noise, more precision. Spotters are guiding the fire, feeding coordinates from the beach and the air. Impacts march steadily up the bluff with frightening accuracy. Then the bunker takes a direct shock. The observation scope fractures. The view disappears. Pluskat hits the floor hard. He lifts his head and sees smoke seeping through a new crack in the wall. The concrete is beginning to give. 2 guns remain. Fewer than 40 shells are left. By 8 a.m., the Americans begin to advance. Small groups break from the seawall and move up through the draws along the bluff. Defensive fire forces several to drop and take cover. Others reach the low ground and continue pushing. They use grenades and satchel charges to destroy each strong point they encounter. The radio crackles, then falls silent. Outside, the air pulses with repeated impacts. Each explosion lands closer than the last. A messenger rushes into the shelter. There is no withdrawal. The roads have been cut. Escape routes are gone. His men can only fall back into an ever smaller section of the defensive line. At 8:45, his last 2 gun positions fall silent. They are out of ammunition. Pluskat stares toward the shoreline. It is filled with movement now. Massive numbers of Allied troops press forward and spread inland. Heavy vehicles crawl up the slopes. Gaps have opened where barriers once stood. The ground he was ordered to hold has become a foothold for the Allied advance. The invasion has succeeded. At the base of the bluff, medics move urgently through the chaos. German and American soldiers lie side by side. The scale of the landing is immense. Vehicles and supplies stream ashore continuously, pushing inland without pause. The Atlantic Wall has failed. Pluskat's account of watching the Allied fleet appear at dawn became one of the most famous German perspectives of the invasion. The 352nd Infantry Division suffered catastrophic casualties defending Omaha Beach, with more than 1,200 men killed, wounded, or captured during the first 12 hours. Despite inflicting heavy losses on the American forces, the German defenders were. Pluskat survived the war, and his testimony was later featured in Cornelius Ryan's The Longest Day. He maintained until his death that,